Mwah. You love me. I think this book was 5 stars. The bookmark's coming out. Hello and welcome to my little corner of the internet. Today we are going to be doing a fall reading vlog and I am so excited. I have a couple books picked out that I might get to, but this is going to be more of a mood reading vlog. So I am going to show you guys some books that I might get to in this video. So right now I'm actually in the middle of The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I'm 202 pages into this. I'm really enjoying it. I've actually laughed out loud on some parts. It's just a really fun, witchy, Halloween-y kind of book. I've been waiting 6 months to read this book and it's finally time, so I'm really enjoying it. We're going to be finishing this book in this vlog. I also have 2 books that are on my TBR for this month. If you've seen my October TBR video, you should go watch it, see what my picks are. I'm hoping to maybe get to You Again by Kate Goldbeck because hello, look at this cover. If this isn't perfect to read in the fall, I don't know what is. It is a When Harry Met Sally kind of retelling, which is literally perfect. I want to read this book and then watch When Harry Met Sally because I freaking love that movie. I really want to get to Daughter of No Worlds. I have really high hopes for this book and I feel like I don't want to get my hopes too high, that I'll be disappointed, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out maybe in this vlog. Those are the 3 main books that I really want to get to, but there are a lot more that are on my top TBR list, books that I really want to get to in October and November. The first one is Kingdom of the Wicked. I have had this book on my TBR for so long. I have the whole series and I haven't started it yet. This gives me very spooky vibes, okay? So I feel like this is going to be a good book to read in the weeks coming up to Halloween. I also have Belladonna, which I also have the whole series of and I still haven't started. I've had people telling me that I need to read this because they loved it so much, so I guess I'll have to read it. This book I really want to read the week of Halloween. I mean, look at the cover. It's literally gorgeous. It looks exactly like what I need to read the week of Halloween. This is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo and I honestly have no idea what this is about and I'm kind of just wanting to go into it blind. We'll see if we get to this because this looks like the perfect spooky book. I also have a couple little YA mysteries that I want to get to. I feel like I read these books so fast, so they're just good to sprinkle in. First, I have The Reappearance of Rachel Price by Holly Jackson. I've heard very good reviews of this book. I loved the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, so I feel like I'm going to love this. And it's also just a standalone book, which is really nice. It's just a one and done. I also have Five Survive by Holly Jackson, which I've also heard really good things about. I just love how Holly Jackson writes her mysteries. I actually got this book from a little free library and there are tabs in it from the person that read it first, and so I kind of like to think of this book as a buddy read with a stranger. Hi. Oh, say hi to the people. Ow. Hey, you good girl. You gotta be a good girl to get treats. Oh my gosh. Okay, I think I've yapped for too long. This is a very long intro, very ambitious TBR for October, but I'm literally just so excited. So let's get into this vlog and see what books I end up reading. It is rainy and gloomy outside, so you know what that means. Is the perfect time to finish this book. I have 40-ish pages left, which is gonna literally fly by because the words in this book are huge. I'm listening to the rain and the crows out there and it's so it's the perfect natural ambiance. I'm having a great time. That's not how this one's supposed to go. That was so cute. Finished. the next day. So as you already know, I finished the X-Hex yesterday, and then I also went book shopping. It was kind of on a whim. We were grocery shopping, and then I was like, there's a buy two get one free deal going on at Target. And then I ended up buying books. It was really weird. Okay, this was so fun. It was such a good time. I only ended up rating it 3 stars. I knew going into it, this probably wasn't gonna be a 5-star book for me. It's just something that is perfect for October. It was just a cute little witchy romance. So I definitely recommend it. If you ever read it in October. I also started Daughter of No Worlds yesterday. I literally only got 5 pages in because I started it before bed and I fell asleep. But I'm so excited about this. She's heavy. She's a thick girl. I don't have Kindle Unlimited, but I ended up starting a trial just because I wanted to be able to read this book on my Kindle. Because at night when I'm reading, I don't want to hold like such a heavy book. I want to lay down and be able to read, and I usually fall asleep that way. I want to just be able to hold something light. Also, Kindle stickers appreciation. I'm gonna try my best to get through this pretty quickly because I rate books higher when I binge them. If I'm reading a book for like a week, then I start to get tired of reading the same book, and then I kind of feel disconnected from it. So I'm gonna find as much time as I can to try to read this. Now for the book haul, which you guys have probably been waiting for. You already saw what I got, but I'm gonna go over it anyway because that's just fun. Did I need them? Absolutely not. I have so many books on my fall TBR that it's insane. And just on my TBR in general. But it's fun to buy books, and so I just did. First book I picked up is Phantasma. I have seen this all over TikTok, and yes, that is what convinced me to buy this. I am very, very easily swayed into buying books. So what I've heard about this book is that it's a more adult version of Caraval, which completely sold me. I just finished the Caraval series and I thought it was so cute. Like, it was a 4-star series for me. I loved it. It was very young adult. And so if we can have those like games and trials, but a little bit gorier, I mean, sign me up because that sounds amazing. So I actually might get to this like very, very soon and skip over my poor TBR. Phantasma only has 2 rules: stay alive and don't fall in love. And I mean, look at that cover. Okay, the next book that I picked up is Heartless Hunter. From what I've heard, this is about a witch and then a witch hunter. The front says her deadliest enemy or her greatest love. I mean, come on. Classic enemies to lovers, witch and witch hunter. Need I say more? I need to take off this sticker. It bothers the crap out of me. Oh my gosh, no! I find that so satisfying. Okay, this one is the one that I am most excited about. I've been wanting When the Moon Hatched for so long, but I've only ever seen the paperback version and the Fairy Loot exclusive version, I think it was. But I saw this at Target. It just has like blue sprayed edges. But then this is what sold me. These pictures on the front, look at that. I really hope you guys can see that. I have not seen this version at all. I didn't really want a hardcover version of this, but like I had to. Cost a little bit more than the paperback, so I was like, yeah, I'll spend a couple extra dollars. This is it's a book about dragons. That's pretty much all I know. And I also know that this book has like a 10-page glossary in it, which is super intimidating. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 pages of a glossary and a map. I'm so excited about all of these books, I can't even tell you. Like, all these fantasy books that are coming out this year are just breaking my bank account because they sound so good. Mabel wants attention. Mwah, you love me. I am so excited about all these books, but I'm especially excited to get into this book. I am planning on reading more today, as much as I can, really. I have some school and stuff to do, but yeah, I'm just so excited. Days since I've last updated you, but I have 50 pages left. I've read quite a bit. I've been kind of like sick for the past few days, so I've done a lot of reading, but not a lot of updating. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts so far, even though I'm literally almost finished with it. I really, really like it. It's like the author took Assassin's Blade, Heir of Fire, and One Dark Window and just put it together. That's kind of what it feels like. And I was not expecting One Dark Window vibes to be thrown in there, but that's what it's reminding me of. The main character, her name is Tisana. When she was little, her village was raided by these slave traders. They basically destroyed her village and stole her and her mom. So Tisana has had to live a life of slavery. At the beginning of the book, we're kind of just like thrown in. There's not much backstory, you kind of just learn it along the way. There is like no explanation of the world or the magic. Again, we're like thrown in, so we kind of just have to figure it out ourselves, which is interesting. I don't mind that, but also I get kind of confused. I don't know, maybe I'm bad at putting things together. The magic system is very, very different from anything I've seen before. Like, I'm almost to the end and I still don't completely understand how they got their powers or how that came to be. Maybe we'll figure that out later. I honestly don't know, but I am having a good time. I do know that. Tisana eventually, at the beginning of this book, finds a way to escape her life of slavery. She makes her way across the country. She comes to this thing called the Orders that she wants to join, and she has to train to be able to join. And of course, she gets to train with the love interest, the hot guy. Like, of course. That's where it gives Heir of Fire vibes. There's like a good 100 pages of them just developing their relationship, which I ate up. This book is 500 pages, but it still feels like it shouldn't end yet, so I guess we'll see where this goes. You know, I was getting that 5-star feeling at the beginning, and it's still kind of there. I really want this book to be 5 stars. I really, really, really like it so far. My only complaint is that I still don't know much about the magic system, which I do not know if that is like purposeful or not, or if it just wasn't explained very well. But that's literally like my only complaint. We're gonna see how this goes. We're gonna finish this and I'll give you my final updates. I'll probably need a second to think about my rating because that's usually how it works. I gotta process. I have 20 pages left, but something just happened that made me kind of mad, and I really hope it redeems itself. Yes, I'm so happy. Oh, okay. Okay, it's redeemed. It's redeemed. I'm no longer angry. This book was 5 stars. I kind of just want to read the next one now, but apparently there's a novella about the main male character in this book. It's called The Ashen Sun. I might read that next, honestly. Hello and welcome to my really messy bed. It's been like 2 days since I've updated you, but I have been doing some reading. So as you guys saw, I finished Daughter of No Worlds by Carissa Broadbent and I loved it. It gave me exactly what I needed. It gave me that hint of Throne of Glass, that vibe that I was looking for. There were aspects that were similar, but it was like different enough that it scratched the itch, but it also was like its own story. This was 5 stars for me, maybe even a 4.75 upon further evaluation. I don't know. A very high rating either way. We were kind of just like dropped into the story and kind of had to just figure out their world and their magic and what's going on ourselves without them explaining it to us. I mean, that's better than just completely info dumping on us, but also I was like confused in some parts, but you know what? I finished this really quick for how long it was. It's 500 pages and I finished it in like 3 days. Like I literally ate it up. So I'm not even gonna complain. Like the vibes were there and the story was good. And that's what matters. I liked it so much that I wanted to like immediately go into the second one. So I actually figured out that there's a novella. It's called The Ashen Sun. So this is the prequel to Daughter of No Worlds. The male main character, Max, has this whole backstory. So it goes more into his backstory that we don't know much about. So I'm glad I read this. It was only 85 pages, but it was part 1 of like a 4 or 5 part novella, but the other parts are not out yet. And I thought they were, and so I was really confused like why it left off on such like an open ending. I tried to look up on Carissa Broadbent's website like when the other parts of the novellas are coming out. This came out in 2023, so last year, and she said that the other parts are going to be released in the months ahead. I think she said, or something like that, but they still haven't been released yet. Like, I get it, she's a busy author, but like, come on, I need more, girl. Anyway, after that, I needed a break from fantasy, so last night, I started You Again by Kate Goldbeck, which is on my fall TBR, my October TBR for this month. Like, I just had to read this during October. Like, it would be a crime if I didn't. I'm about 40 pages into it, and I kind of don't like the main female character. She's kind of like, she's supposed to be like this outspoken, sassy comedian type girl. Like she actually is trying to be a comedian. Honestly, I kind of find her annoying. That might just be because I'm super introverted. Being in this girl's mind is like a lot for me, honestly. I like the guy though. I mean, he's really uptight. He needs things a certain way and he's like super serious. So they're like complete opposites, which that's kind of the point. This is a When Harry Met Sally retelling, if you guys have seen that movie. The whole premise is that they're complete opposites, but for some reason they keep bumping into each other. They disagree a lot, but they have really good banter. Right now, she lives with this girl, Natalie, who she kind of has a crush on, but he is Natalie's boyfriend, and it's like a mess right now. He comes over to cook this fancy meal, and Natalie isn't there yet. Ari and Josh are alone in their small New York apartment until Natalie gets there, and it's like so awkward because he's like trying to ask her to be his girlfriend, but she like admits that she has a crush on Natalie, but they've like been together while her and Josh were together. So it's this really weird situation right now that I'm not loving. It's really awkward. So we'll see how this goes. I hope we get over that and move on. I think it's just that awkward situation, and then they don't see each other again for 3 years, because I'm at the part where it says 3 years later, and then I guess they'll bump into each other again. Yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this today. Honestly, it's a really like dreary, rainy day. I've been saving this graphic novel to read on a rainy day, so I might try to read this tonight in like one sitting. But yeah, this was in my October TBR video. I had a TBR prompt jar, and one of the prompts was a graphic novel, and I didn't own one, so I went to the library and picked this one up. So this is on my October fall TBR too, so I want to get to this as well. So it is the next night. I've just been doing homework all day and rotting basically. It is storming outside a little bit. Like it's been raining off and on, and then I think I heard some thunder, so it is the perfect time to sit and binge this little graphic novel. How in the world did that happen? It seems like this book is about a local lake that catches fire, and there's mysteries that these teenagers want to uncover. I don't know, for some reason I have it in my brain that this is perfect to read during a storm, so that's what I'm gonna do. It's a couple days later. It may not look like it because I am in the same sweater that I was wearing when I filmed my last clip, but it in fact is a couple days later, and I have some updates for you guys. First update that I have, I'm on page 170 and the bookmark's coming out. I DNF'd this book. I do not normally DNF books. Like, it is very, very, very hard for me to DNF books because I have a mindset of, I bought it, I have it, so I have to read it and finish it. It takes something really special for me to DNF something, and this sure was special. I just could not see myself giving this more than a 3-star rating, and so it didn't feel worth my time. Also, I didn't like either of the characters. It was not giving me that fall vibe that I wanted. Even 50% of the way through, the most fall thing was them walking through like a park, I think. I don't know why this cover is so fall themed and why this book is so fall themed, because it was barely there. The thing that was there though were all of the really over the top sex jokes. You know, a few well-placed dirty jokes in there are fine, but this was entirely too much. The female main character, Ari, that was the only thing she talked about. That was her only personality trait. I looked at other reviews on Goodreads of this book and people agree with me. Yes, it was kind of like When Harry Met Sally, but I think she tried to make it too modern and too like hip and cool, where it was not at all hip or cool. There were lots of uses of emojis, but in word form. It feels like some older millennial wrote this. No shame to the author. There are plenty of people who like this book. I read reviews, and that is so great for them. If you like this book, that is so great for you. I was not the right audience for this. This is definitely not my type of book. You know, I knew that they were going to get together eventually, but I could not see them ever staying together. They were complete opposites and both unstable and just generally bad people in different ways. Unfortunately, this book, I DNF'd it. Pretty much means it was a 1-star, 0-star, not gonna finish, probably gonna get rid of it. And as you saw, I did read this in one sitting. It took like 30 minutes. It's really short, really pretty visualizations. The artwork is great. The storyline was okay. I kind of didn't really even get the ending. And I'm actually really glad that I read this, because it kind of got me into reading more graphic novels, because I went on Libby on my library app and I downloaded all of the Heartstopper books. I read the first one all the way through and it was cute. So I'm going to be moving on to number 2. And I might watch the show after, I'm not sure. Now, I decided to read 5 Survive by Holly Jackson. This was kind of just like a random pick. I went over to my TBR cart and I was like, what is going to be a quick and interesting read that is probably going to be high rated? 5 Survive by Holly Jackson is a pretty good contender there, because she wrote the Good Girl's Guide to Murder trilogy, which is now a show on Netflix, and I rated those all very highly. So I am on, I'm actually not even sure what page I'm on, because I fell asleep and lost my place. I'm on page like 140 or something. I'm gonna have to figure that out later. This book is about these 6 teenagers that decide to go on this road trip to go to Gulf Shores for spring break. They're in this RV. They get lost. Their GPS starts working. They kind of end up in the middle of nowhere and they have a pop tire. So they have to figure that out. They put a spare on. And as they're about to turn around and try to get back on track, all 3 of their other tires popped and they realized that they were being shot at. It's called 5 Survive and there's 6 of them, so it can only be assumed that one of them is gonna die. So I don't know. And it's interesting so far and it's quick. Her writing style in this is completely different than her writing style in A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is very like stream of consciousness, if that makes sense. Like the main character, her name is Red, and she's very in her own thoughts. Like she's the narrator, it's from her perspective, she's narrating everything, but it's very like her own stream of consciousness, like kind of getting distracted at different times. And she's got her own kind of secrets that she has, her own trauma that she's dealing with, that you figure out throughout the book. Like she doesn't just come out and say it, you just kind of like jump into this girl's mind. So yeah, I'm really liking it. I'm really glad that I DNF'd the other book. It was really slumping me out, and so this is definitely helping. Okay, I finished 5 Survive. I completely forgot to film clips of me reading it, and I really wish I did, because my reactions to the end of this book were crazy. I actually really liked this book and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, and that's why I didn't film any clips, because I was having such a good time that I just didn't even think about it. I actually ended up rating this 5 stars. I'm not sure if that's gonna eventually change, but for now it's a 5 stars because the premise was just so interesting. I didn't guess anything that happened. Holly Jackson is honestly just like a genius with plot twists. Like, I don't really ever see them coming. This is a YA mystery thriller type, but it didn't read YA besides the characters were teenagers. It's just like a really quick, really fun read. And this was exactly what I needed to get me out of that slump that you again put me in, because that was bad. And right now I'm in the middle of The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. This is completely different than what I thought it would be. Leigh Bardugo is like an auto-buy author for me. Like, I'll buy anything that she puts out. She's the author of the Shadow and Bone series and the Six of Crows duology, as well as Ninth House and Hellbent. This is her latest release, and I mean, I bought it strictly for the cover. I'm not even gonna lie, I had no idea what it was about. But going into this, I was very confused. It's very heavily set during the Spanish Inquisition. It's not like, oh, this is just happening during that time. It's like to the point where I had to look up things about the Spanish Inquisition because I don't know much about that. At least I'm learning, I guess. I'm only on page 50 because this has been so slow for me, so I'm just like reading other books while I'm reading this one as well. I am interested in it. I feel like I'm just gonna take it slow because if I try to read only this book, I can tell I'm gonna get in a slump. So take that as you will. I'm not sure if I would recommend this yet or not. So I filmed an outro already, but I somehow lost the footage, so here we are again. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was kind of all over the place, but that's because I was all over the place in the weeks that I was filming this. I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. As always, make sure to subscribe if you liked hanging out with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!